Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing you another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Hasbro G.I. Classified 6-inch scale Deluxe Serpentor and Air Chariot. I believe this was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Now I missed the first window of pre-orders as they sold out almost immediately, and I was quite disappointed, but Hasbro Pulse has given us a couple other opportunities to pre-order this guy. So some people already got theirs a while ago. I believe I got mine in on the second wave of pre-orders, and he finally arrived today. Now, this guy's really cool because A, he definitely looks like a Cobra figure. His whole outfit is like a snake, hence the name Serpentor. And then as a kid, I actually had the old school Serpentor and Air Chariot. I remember I had to rip something out of a magazine, check the figure I wanted, send in, I don't know, a check or a money order that my dad sent in. I think it was the only time I actually ever got a figure through a mail-in thing like that, and it was one of my favorite G.I. Joe figures as a kid. So this is going to be a really cool figure to have, and if he's anything like the pictures online, he looks awesome. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, ages 4+, there's a warning. G.I. Joe Classified Serpentor and Air Chariot by Hasbro. Packaging is fantastic, very elaborate. We have the Cobra logo. Looks like it's going to come outside of the sleeve in here. Top, Cobra logo again. One side, got some Cobra insignia. He's the 57th figure in the G.I. Joe Classified line. Other side, same thing. At the back, here's Serpentor. Here he is fighting somebody else. Bunch of different people on the Cobra side of things. Pretty nice package. Looks like he's beating up Cobra Commander. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, in case that helps anybody. Now, like I said, pretty cool packaging. Looks like you're going to be able to slide this thing out. Well, we got some tape got to break off the top real quick. Hold on. Okay, I got the tape on both the top and the side, so let's pull this thing out. As you can see, nice Cobra logo there. 57th figure. Great presentation of the packaging. Here's the figure in there. He seems giant compared to the Hasbro G.I. Joe figures I'm familiar with. A few accessories here. You can see his chariot, at least a picture of it. It's presumably behind here. And then some more accessories on this side. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that I have this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He comes with a large Air Chariot vehicle with a bunch of things to attach to it. As far as his own accessories, he's got a Cobra snake, and it looks like 2 alternate pieces to switch out his Cobra hood, and then 2 different claw attachments for his arms. Before I look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual. So this is Serpentor, and this is news to me, but apparently he was created by Dr. Mindbender and Destro. They got DNA from various different tombs of Napoleon, Julius Caesar, Hannibal, and Attila the Hun. They were creating him as a clone to become the next leader of Cobra and take over from Cobra Commander. So he's a member of Cobra, but there's always some friction there. Apparently in his comic origin, he was designed as a super soldier to work under Cobra Commander, and that's how he's going to be in my action figure world. So let's take a look at him. This guy is giant, way bigger than your average G.I. Joe figure. Head looks good, stern expression, got the fangs from the Cobra hood. Sculpting is pretty nice. Good texturing, sort of snake skin all over the side. The middle of his armor looks to be sort of an armored look. Got more snakes wrapped all around him. His cape looks phenomenal. Look at that, like snake skin. The texturing is amazing. One of the best action figure capes I have ever seen. He's got double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Like I said, he is giant compared to the rest of the G.I. Joe figures, but the figure looks phenomenal, worth the wait. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt, it's actually very well done. I love the fangs on the top and the bottom surrounding his face. He's the epitome of what I would imagine a Cobra leader to look like. One minor complaint about this guy, he's got kind of a gap in his torso here between his waist area. Now depending on how you pose him, it's kind of noticeable, a little annoying. And then here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and the first thing I want to do is build that Air Chariot. So here's the Air Chariot laid out in front of you, disassembled, all kind of attachments to add. Now I had this as a kid, so it's pretty cool to see it, a larger, more detailed version. A lot of nostalgia here. Here's the main piece. It's sort of a hovercraft. You can see some of the exhaust here. At the bottom we have the Cobra logo, so it's hydraulic, panel removal. Looks like area the engine there to spin, allow it to hover. Looks pretty nice, and the top looks even better. See the top right there, place for him to stand, some control panels, all kind of different places to attach stuff. Gun reactor, Z03, whatever the hell that means. Looks very nice and reminiscent of what I used to have. So the first piece I'd like to attach is this large Cobra head here. It's going to attach right on the very front. Now that that's done, let's keep going. Next, let's attach his handles or controls. They went front and center here, right behind the Cobra head. Now we're left with 8 more pieces to attach to the chariot. Let's start off with these guns in the center. The guns actually connect together with this. Put them together, shove in the slot. There you go. And looks like these bullets also attach to the gun. Take the bullets, a little slot here. Attach them on, and they're going to be kind of wrapped around. Here it is with the guns attached, and they're able to rotate. That'll leave us with 2 last pieces, some fins for the back. And there you have it. The Air Chariot is now assembled and complete. Looks pretty good. We have the large Cobra head at the front, a couple of guns, bullets attached. Here's how he's going to steer and control it. A bunch of other sort of monitors and dials down below. The engine, the fins, area for him to stand, pegs. It all looks very nice. Way more detailed and intricate than the one I had when I was a kid, but still looks very similar and reminiscent. Now let's check out all the rest of his accessories, and then we'll put him on the chariot. Let's start off with this Cobra snake. Large Cobra snake, kind of a rubbery material. It's bendable, decent texturing on the skin. Of course, we have the large Cobra head. Now let's look at this Cobra head hood. Looks like we have 2 different versions. One that's going to be wrapped around his head, and then one that you have the different option of either not having the fangs or simply only having the fangs. Here's his default hood, the one that came with in the package. It's got the Cobra snake wrapped around his head, fangs and all. And here's his other hood. Honestly, it seems that they could have just included this one. They didn't really need both of them. This one has 2 separate pieces, so he's going to be articulated, able to move independently of the snake hood. And you can display this one without the back. Then we have his 2 claws. They're attachments to his right hand. There's a longer version and a shorter version. Here he is with the shorter version attached. Then, with the longer version attached. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure, the accessories, and the assembly of the Air Chariot, now, the moment we've all been waiting for, let's put him on the vehicle. Here he is. Here's Serpentor on his Air Chariot. The handles hold the handlebars. Stands kind of tall. I don't see how he's ever going to look at those knobs and dials that are way down there. I don't see how he's ever going to fire the weapons unless he has some controls up here. It does look good, very reminiscent of the old school figure. Pick it up, pretty sturdy. You can flip it upside down between the handlebars and the pegs on his feet. He's very sturdily in this thing. Now let's check out the action features of this thing. So first of all, obviously, it could accommodate a figure. You can stand a figure up there to control this vehicle. Also, the front of the snake's head, it can actually come down. What is the purpose of this? I have no idea. You can snap it right back into place, and it seems totally pointless. Then we have these large guns here. They're able to rotate on the vehicle. You can actually remove the large guns and use them for a figure. Large, heavy artillery takes 2 hands to hold. We also have this fan here. It can actually spin if you turn the top piece there. Honestly, pretty pointless action feature. The vehicle also features some retractable landing gear. Here's a vehicle without the landing gear out, just in sort of a flight pose. And here it is, with the landing gear out. Definitely a nice, unexpected feature. Now let's check out his height, and this guy is a giant. I would say he is by far the largest G.I. Joe classified figure that I have. From bottom to the top of his head, standing at about 7.0 inches tall, which can translate to just under 18 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Start with his head here. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. Can look up and down a pretty good amount. He has articulation at the top of the neck and the bottom of the neck. Can't tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint goes about 90 degrees. Up, down, around. He's got that butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area. Increase the range of motion. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. Don't go back as far as I'd expect. A little too muscular. It's kind of obstructing it. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Ball joint his torso. Rotate around. Forward and back a little bit. Another ball joint his waist, but I just cannot get it to do anything with it. I just snap back into place. I don't know if it's broken. I feel like if I just push it too hard, it's going to break the figure. If anybody else has a figure and has the same problem, let me know. Does yours do the same thing, or do I just need to push it a little further? Between the two, pretty decent range of motion. That gap in his waist area can be a little annoying to look at. Legs, complete as splits. Ball joints. Drop down hips. They look hideous like this, but push them back in, they look just fine. They go forward about that much. Back, not much at all. He's got a thigh cut. Double jointed knees. Then his ankle here goes forward and back. Rotate. And he has a boot cut for the rotation. Here's an image of Serpentor on his Air Chariot, surrounded by some Cobra officers. Could be a great battle for the leader of the Cobras, Cobra Commander and his officers, taking on Serpentor, Dr. Mindbender, and some BATs. But I personally prefer my Cobras to work together. Here's Cobra Commander, ruling above all the Cobras. Yeah, they're going to have some internal fights. Serpentor, Destro, Sartan, Mindbender, etc. But ultimately, they follow Cobra Commander. Now let's check them out. Next to some other action figures, starting off with the figure I've been using for the Serpentor stand-in for a while. Here he is, next to a Mattel DC Universe Classics Copperhead figure. I've been using this guy to stand in for Serpentor since day one of the G.I. Joe Classified line. Finally got to upgrade him. And before we move on to some G.I. Joe comparisons, here he is next to a couple more DC figures. Here he is next to a DC Direct Copperhead from Arkham Origins. This is the female version. Then, next to Mattel DC Universe Classics Cobra figure. Now let's check him out. Next to some other Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified figures. Here he is next to the 4 most recent Cobra figures I've gotten. All 4 army builders, 3 of which are from the Target exclusive Python Patrol Wave. Then, with another 4 recent Cobra releases. And here, with some of the earlier Cobra releases. Then, next to some recent Joe releases, here's my entire collection of Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Cobra figures. I believe I have each and every one in every variation except for the original Target exclusive Viper and the light blue Cobra Commander. If anyone has to hook up on one of those, let me know. Still looking for those. And here's the entire collection on the Joe side. I believe I have every single one, every single variation. I mean, look at the 6 different varieties of Snake Eyes they've made. Yo, Joe! Now let's check him out. Next to some action figures from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a Hasbro figure, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the smaller action figure lines I collect and work my larger. But first, let's check him out with some of his Hasbro brothers. Here he is, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. Then, with some Hasbro Fortnite figures. And now, next to some Jazz Wars Fortnite figures. And here he is, next to a candle holder I pulled off the wall. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And here, next to some Mayfix figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collected figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. Then, next to some Mattel WWE wrestlers. And here, standing with some NECA figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here, next to some McFarlane toys. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. And finally, next to some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. Overall, this is a very nice figure. The only weird thing about him, he's just so damn giant. And if you go the Super Soldier route, I guess it sort of makes sense. But this guy can hang out with the 7-inch crowd. The other complaint I'd have is his torso articulation, more so the waist. Just looks bad and doesn't seem to function properly in my figure. Beyond that, cape's fantastic. The texturing on his outfit is great. The Air Chariot's awesome. If I were to rate this guy, I'd give him a very solid 8 out of 10. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.